Hello everyone, you're at the latest market news on May the 6th, 2021. Uber significantly cuts losses in the first quarter. Uber Technologies, the US-based taxi and food delivery provider, cuts its net loss 27 times to $108 million in the first quarter of 2021 from $2.9 billion in the same period last year. The company ended the quarter with its smallest loss since going public, including the sale of its ATG division, which focuses on unnamed driving technology. The Department of Labor repealed a Trump-era rule that tried to make it harder to count gig workers as employees, hitting companies like Uber and LYFT Inc. that rely on such independent workers. According to the company's press release, its revenue fell to $2.9 billion from $3.25 billion a year earlier. Uber is an international technology company that develops mobile services for personal car and food delivery, with services in more than 900 cities in 70 countries. The company's shares fell 4.8% in after-hours trading on Wednesday following the report's release. Global stocks flat amid Biden's vaccines decision. Global equity and commodity prices remained steady on Thursday as investors switched to clinical commodities amid hopes of a strong economic recovery, but drug makers' stocks came under pressure after Washington baked the cancellation of COVID-19 vaccine patents. The broadest index of global equities, MSCI's ACWI, rose slightly, and European equities are expected to open unchanged. Japan's Nikkei 225 index jumped 1.8% to open after a 5-day holiday, while the MSCI Asia-Pacific Stock Index outside Japan lost 0.15%. China's health shares index fell more than 4% after U.S. President Joe Biden baked a COVID-19 vaccine intellectual property rights waiver. Biden's move also hit U.S. vaccine makers, including Moderna, but overall Wall Street was supported by gains in energy and other clinical stocks. The Dow hit a record high overnight, rising 0.29%, while the S&P 500 added 0.07%. China halts economic relations with Australia. China indefinitely suspended all activities of the China-Australia Strategic Economic Dialogue on Thursday, said its state economic planner, the latest setback in the tense relationship between the two countries. According to the China's officials, some Commonwealth government officials have recently taken a series of measures to disrupt normal exchanges and cooperation between China and Australia for reasons of Cold War and ideological discrimination. Bilateral ties were strained in 2018 when Australia became the first country to publicly ban Chinese tech giant Huawei from using its 5G network. Relations deteriorated last year when Australia called for an independent investigation into the origin of a new coronavirus, prompting retaliatory trade measures from China. Oil rises in price after major inventory decline. Oil prices of benchmark grades are rising moderately in the course of trading on Thursday, having demonstrated multi-directional changes from previous trades. The U.S. Department of Energy data released the day before showed a 7.99 million barrel drop in the country's oil inventories last week. This is the biggest drop since January. July Brent crude futures on London's ICE Futures Exchange stands at $69.10 a barrel on Thursday, up 0.2% from the previous session's closing price. The June WTI crude futures price on the New York Mercantile Exchange was up 0.11% by that time at $65.70 a barrel.